Hello students, welcome to Breedmark Academy. Myself Alice Nanda. Now in our previous year question series of JEE Main and JEE Advanced, this is the next problem that I am going to take today. It's a nice question based on the topic of permutations and combinations. It says a group of 9 students S1, S2, S3 and so on up to S9 is to be divided to form 3 teams X, Y and Z of sizes 2, 3 and 4 respectively. Suppose that S1 cannot be selected for the team X and S2 cannot be selected for the team Y. Then the number of ways to form such teams is. Now it means that in this question, we have to find the total number of ways of forming teams X, Y and Z which satisfy the given conditions. Now students, clearly this question is based on the concept of distribution of different items into groups. I will be solving this problem by using two different methods. You can choose any one of them. Both are equally good. In the first method, I am using principle of inclusion and exclusion. Basically, it is the application of set theory. I am defining two sets A and B. The first set A is defined as the set of all possible ways of forming the teams X, Y and Z such that S1 belongs to team X. Right? Now similarly, we define the second set B as the set of all possible ways of forming these teams X, Y and Z such that S2 belongs to team Y. Now as per the language of the question, what do we need to find? We need to find an A complement intersection B complement. That means we have to find the total number of ways of forming these teams such that neither A should happen nor B should happen. That means neither S1 belongs to team X nor S2 belongs to team Y. Now by using De Morgan's law, this can further be written as an A union B whole complement. And finally, it is NT minus NA union B. Now, what is NT over here? NT represents the total number of ways of forming these teams without applying any conditions on S1 and S2. Right? Now, students, just use the formula for NA union B. It becomes NA plus NB minus NA intersection B. Now, I'm just finding their values. What is NT? To find NT, we have to divide 9 students in 3 groups X, Y and Z such that the first group has 2 students, second group has 3 students and the third group has 4 students. So it can be done in factorial 9 divided upon factorial 2 into factorial 3 into factorial 4. Now to find NA, the situation is like that. S1 is already present in the team X. So that means now X team requires 1 more student, Y requires 3 students and Z requires 4 students. So that means now we have to divide 8 remaining students into 3 groups, right? Where the first group has 1 student, Y has 3 students and the third group has 4 students. We have to distribute 8 students in this manner. So this can be done into factorial 8 upon factorial 1, factorial 3, factorial 4. Now when we talk about NB, now the situation is like that S2 already belongs to the team Y. So that means now Y requires 2 more students. X requires 2 students and Z requires 4 students. So now this can be done in factorial 8 divided upon factorial 2 into factorial 2 into factorial 4. Now students, at this point you need to be very careful because this is common mistake that students will divide further by factorial 2. Because usually whenever we have to divide 8 items into 3 groups such that the first 2 groups has 2 items each, then we have to divide by factorial 2. You must be knowing this rule that whenever there are k groups which have the same number of items, then at the last we have to divide by factorial k. But in this case, do remember this thing, that the number of elements in the team X and Y, they are not same. X has 2 students and Y actually has 3 students, because S2 was already present in this team Y. So be careful regarding this. Now we come to an A intersection B. A intersection B means, in this case, S1 belongs to the team X and S2 belongs to the team Y. So that means now X requires 1 more student, Y requires 2 more students, and Z requires 4 students. So this can be done in factorial 7 upon factorial 1 into factorial 2 into factorial 4. Right? Now students, we move further and do the calculations. Now students, we do the calculations and find the values as 1260 minus, inside the bracket it is 280 plus 420 minus 105. Now this further becomes 1260 minus 700 minus 105. And finally it can be written as 560 plus 105, or just 665. Now students, this is the right answer of the question. Now I am explaining the same question by the second method. Now this is the method of cases. I will be listing all the possible cases in which we can form the teams by satisfying all the given conditions. Now this is the first case in which we can do the distribution like this. S2 belongs to team X, S1 belongs to team Y. Now this time X requires 1 more student, Y requires 2 more students, and Z requires 4 more students. So that means this particular distribution can be done in factorial 7 upon factorial 1 into factorial 2 into factorial 4 ways. Right? And when you simplify this, it comes as 105. Now list the second case. In this particular case, S2 belongs to team X and S1 belongs to team Z. Now this time X requires 1 more student, Y requires 3 students, and Z requires 3 students. So this particular distribution can be done in factorial 7 upon factorial 1, factorial 3, factorial 3. Now students, again be careful, do not divide by factorial 2 here. Fine, because the number of elements in Y and Z, they are not same, because Y actually contains 3 students and Z contains 4 students. So when you simplify this, you get 140. Now we move to the third case. In the third case, what do we have? We have both S1 and S2 belonging to the team Z. That means now X requires 2 students, Y requires 3 students, and Z requires 2 students more. So this particular distribution can be done in factorial 7 upon factorial 2 into factorial 3 into factorial 2 ways. Now when you simplify this, you get 210. Now students, we discussed the last case. Now students, this is the last case that we have to consider. In this particular case, S1 belongs to the team Y and S2 belongs to the team Z. Now X requires 2 students, team Y requires 2 more students, and Z team requires 3 more students. So that means it can be done in factorial 7 upon factorial 2 into factorial 2 into factorial 3. Fine. Now students, again be careful not to divide this value by factorial 2 again, because that is going to be a wrong step. Now when you do the calculations, this value comes as 210. Now just add all the values. It becomes 210 plus 210 plus 140 plus 105. Now students, the answer is again 665. Fine. And this method was easier to understand. So it's your choice. Which method do you want to apply? It was a nice question. Now students, next question I will be discussing in tomorrow's video. Till then, goodbye. Keep practicing and keep watching my videos and enhance your knowledge of mathematics. And if you have not subscribed my channel till now, I will suggest you people to subscribe it and share these videos among your friends as well. Thanks.
ओए, अरे यार ये क्या है?